Hey, it's me, Andrew Orlando, back with another one. First and foremost, I have not done this in a long time, so I'm going to give you all the review in a few seconds, but I'm going to give you what I used to do, is give you a vibe. So before we start this, the view is right now, so to start. This is going to be Potomac. This is the finale episode, and then the first part of the reunion. And don't forget, in a few days, you got the next one. So give me a few seconds, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I had to move the camera just a little bit. First and foremost, once again, I'm Jamaica Lando. This is a review. This is my first time doing a review in a long time. I don't know the reviews, so be patient with me. This episode is going to be about Housewives of Potomac. Potomac, you say? Housewives of Potomac. Yes, Potomac. Yes, Potomac. This season, Potomac's been great. Now, first and foremost, which one I'm reviewing? I'm reviewing the last episode and the episode before that. That means this, as you see this today, this is what I'm talking about. I'm doing the finale, and I'm going to do the first part of the review. I want to talk about the review first, but we can't do that. We got to give you the finale first. Just how it goes. So, I'm going to do the first most important thing is that Ashley was very interesting, spicy. First thing, it was amazing to see two white men fight on a very black-dominated show that two white men are fighting. Yeah. So, the two interracial lovers, couples, were fighting. At the end of the show, you saw that Candace was showcasing her buttocks. And, once again, and so Michael said, hey, go get your woman. Chris did not like that, and Chris gave him the business. Now, he didn't give them the business as in fighting, but he gave him the business like, don't touch me. And I do think it's really cool when that happens, because it's kind of like, wow, we're not the only ones that's crazy. From them, let's go do that to the season, and let's talk about the whole season as a whole. Now, won't lie to you, I actually really do love this show. This has been a very amazing season, and it's also been a very intriguing thing. I won't lie, this show was supposed to have an A, and it's just a C. And I hate that it has a C. I don't want to have a C, but it has a C. My A player was Monique, and my A player was also Candace, because that was the main two people. To have a show where the dynamic between a lot of people was amazing. Monique was the fan favorite. She still is the fan favorite because she ain't going nowhere. Not in my book. They go soon. If they go, if she's gone, I'm gone. This show is very different because it's the second generation of a black-dominated cast on Bravo. The next ambitious show they have is House of Sunset. No one's watching House of Sunset like they used to. It's a good show. Very fancy. Very gaudy. So, my favorite person, Monique. Monique had the best storyline in the world. Her baby was born mostly last year. So technically her baby was out in like a few months once the reunion started. Ashley was pregnant literally near the end while the reunion was started. So she had to get pregnant near the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Give you like a little timeline of what happened. Monique had a hidden storyline that she didn't talk about, which sucked that she didn't talk about it on air. But it was also really good when she talked about it in the news. So she made the show very much pop. Now, she got an A because of that. And she also got an A because she did things that no one else did. I don't really like her podcast being called Don Flay's Moms. Because it's not a good concept. I just wish we should change that name. Just change that name, child. I get it, but it's a weird name. Because Don Flay's Mom is kind of like every mom's not lazy. She pushed a baby out. Yeah. Her season was different because her and Candace have tension. But her and Candace made up off air. And then they had more friction throughout the show. She had friction with her husband as well. But she chose Candace to put all her friction out. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just very interesting because it's kind of to the point where it's like, you watch it and you're like, what are we doing here? Because Candace has apologized to Monique multiple times, which makes it hard to root for Monique. But at the same time, she ain't gonna mess up her husband and her. You know, they can figure this stuff out once the show's over. They can figure stuff out and go to marriage counseling. They can figure things out, right? That was the biggest thing. Now, when she had to fight with Candace, it was good. But it was also interesting because it was kind of like, it she caused it. They both caused it, but she kind of started it more with the. Now both of them was going to fight. No lie, they were going to fight about something, and this fight was going to be about something. It was about so much more than just that event. Honestly, the event was horrible because Giselle made it. Also, they didn't have food. They've been drinking for a long period of time. Things happen when you be drinking. And, she been trying to she was going to give her the business sooner or later. And she just did. So, I think it's amazing that happened at all. My issue times with this whole show is that, like, they do things very, like, what not normal people would do. It's, if we don't get along, we have to be around each other still. That trope, it's a natural thing. My other favorite person in this season was Candace. Not because she got her ass beat. Well, excuse my language. Not because she got her ass beat. I said arse. A-R-S-E. So, she's had a great growth because this season you saw her take action. She also did not apologize to Ash right away, which I honestly agreed with. I'm going to apologize in my time, and not because you bullied me to apologizing. And then it became more and more like colorism came to play with that because they wanted her to apologize and not Ashley. They were like, well, Ashley grew up. She has a baby. She's growing up. Oh, yeah. No, that's not how that works. And then they also told, like, and then her and Giselle kept asking her for apologies as well. And the weird part about it, they all talk about Ashley, but they don't talk about Giselle asking for these apologies. And I'm like, hold up. Why are we all apologizing to these white, light-skinned people? I made the camera go back a little bit more so y'all can understand that I look sometimes real light-skinned on camera. But I told you, I'm not. I'm not. The next person up for my review of all of it, because I'm going to talk about this first. I'm going to give you a little bit like a long one. Karen, all my A's. Karen's like my A, but a little bit like a little B. A. Her and Ray, their tension in this, it showed dynamic because this is an older marriage. This is a marriage of, I feel like, at least 20 years. So they've been married for a long period of time, and it showed you what grown love is compared to young love. It's not the same thing. And it's a lot of moderation for her because she's changed and she's grown into who she is as a woman in a different manner than like some women. Some women just they kept like a kept woman, and she didn't. And that's actually more admirable than anything, because to know that you want to be something more than just somebody's wife, it's a big deal. And throughout the course of the show, I will say this: they had a life coach, not a therapist. So the dynamics between that is very different, but also they probably understand that we're not going to get divorced. And that could be a thing. They probably was going to, but they're not going to get divorced. So it's a thing. Who else do we got? I'm talking about Wendy, because I will say Wendy has a B to a C, because she brought a dynamic no one has ever seen. You saw culture finally in the show, other than black culture. If people ask us what that means, black culture is something that we did. So you have the sorors. You have a lot of traditional things to do with like their careers, going to markets, going to black themed parties, not themed parties, black owned businesses, and a lot of like social cues, and also a lot of charities. How Real Housewives starts off, every franchise starts off with charities. More new ones start off with charity events than anything else. The ones that have the most charitable events have the most things to talk about, because that shows you we are doing things. We're doing stuff for causes. This is how this goes. I also ask this question like, why am I saying this? So you'll understand, like, just to that person that's watching this as just support, as like, okay, this is why is he saying this? You have to see the dynamic, and you also have to understand the dynamic for other stuff, because this is what happens. They want you to understand, hey, this is who these people are, that they're socialites. They're people that people know upon other people. Truly, well, I was talking about Wendy. Wendy came from that scene with Karen. See what I'm saying? The correlation. They had dynamic tension. That means technically they did not get along at all. But truly they did. And I also think it's a very funny thing that they are Gonna probably have a great season this next season because they were like shade each other, and I love it. I will say this: I do think Wendy's a beautiful woman. I just think she is interesting in her own right, yet boring. Ooh, sorry for that, Emmett. Sorry for the difficulties. Sorry, y'all. I'm recording way too much, so this happens. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got like another SD card. Like, I gotta go get that next. Like, seriously speaking. First things first, I'm back with y'all. So Wendy's next. That means also like I'm about to record the next thing later. That's gonna happen. So first things first is Wendy's was next, and she talked about her degrees a lot, which is great. Her degrees, her 4 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 degrees. So it's amazing that happens when people talk about their things of those statues. Amazing, I love it. It's beautiful, great, good. It's so not really a thing to me because like I don't have a degree. I'm smart in my own way. You know, it's like okay. But more and more so, I do think she's an amazing person. I think she's a beautiful talent. I would say if she didn't kiss someone's ass, she would have been more acceptable to me and also more interesting. But you know, things happen. She'll probably have a good next season. I do think she's gonna be a friend of the show. I do not know what she's gonna do this next season. Cause like, what are you gonna do? Cause you have to have something to talk about. But I do think that she could be interesting. She could not be interesting. Last up, I'm going to talk about my next B is Ashley. She had an A, but I'm gonna call her B still. Is Ashley because the attention this woman gave. She had to do with everybody, and I love it. I will say this: she grew the most, and if I think I said before, she had a baby. She had a baby that changed her life. She showed like Wendy. It's a relation, so they both had posted my posts. What's it called? They both had after the baby when they have issues. They both had that. And it was nice to see that, to see her story, and also to see her growth, and then see her recession with Michael. Now, two white people fighting is very interesting. And before we go that, I'm gonna go ahead and congratulate Robin Dixon. Robin Dixon. So her is next. She's next. Yay. Now I'm talking about that fake bitch. So excuse my language. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. So Robin is had a good season. She's my little C person. She had a D, but she's a C. She had a B. She the whole season was going to get married to Juan no matter what. She wanted that ring. She wanted to be engaged. She got engaged. That is what happened. Okay? She also had a hat line. She also was in debt. It is hard to talk about someone in debt on a show where you're supposed to talk about luxury, life, glamorous, those trips they take, all those things, right? All right, but she in debt. So, she in debt. I don't want to lie like this, kind of like, okay, well, I guess. So, I do think that she's real interesting, but I will say this: that whole it's getting on my nerves. So kissing that anus, kissing that cookies. It's really hard to like her because it's like she will come at Karen, she will come at Monique, she will come at me, even Candace. Hell, she'll come at Ashley, but she won't come at Giselle. She came at Wendy. She won't come at that Giselle. Mm-mm. Not the F. Not the D. Not Giselle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Two-Faced Woman is last, and she had a great season. She lied about her man. She lied about her man. She lied about that man. She lied about that man. It's really funny that Bravo chose Giselle like to do all these other shows, and I'm like, why is she the person? Because she's attractive. She had very fun fashions again this season. She had a beautiful fashion line. Her clothes were so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful clothes. Her clothes were so amazing. I mean, when I saw her and I said, that is what fashion is. Her. So, beautiful woman. I would say that. That's how much I said there. 3 kids. They do not like their daddy with her. They like their daddy. It's not with her. They love their kid. Not with her. So, she's back with her husband. Her ex-husband that she talked about in the book. That she wrote. That she also got a award that she bought. So the whole season, you saw him and them flirting a lot because, that's baby mama. I mean, that's ex-wife. He can get dinner anytime he want. She's single. I mean, she's with him. Yeah, she's with him. But he's also with other people. Ting! She lied about being in a relationship with him, I guess. And I guess to save her job, which he actually admitted that she said that. Don't know why he did that. But it's the truth for some reason. This all happened last year. So like people understand, like this all happened last year. All the season of Potomac was from last year. That's why the Potomac comes back. When they come back, it's always very funny when they come back because it's like they always put back a few weeks before, and they also filmed all the way to like Christmas parties. So it was really funny that that's how they ended off with the Christmas party. The whole episode was interesting because like they showed you like the dynamics now. Monique being apologetic about what happened with Candace. Candace going full force with her music. Karen going to going to sell her makeup. Going to sell her I'm lying. Excuse my language. She's going to sell her perfume, Le Dom. And I think that's really amazing. Karen showcased something that most women have to showcase throughout the course of this series. I'm going to say this again. Most of them, this is their 5th season. This is season 5. A lot of them have their own businesses. Candace has a business. Everyone has a business. Wendy's her own business. So let's go with the businesses. Karen has La Dame, her perfume, and also she has a wig line. My hair is real. But it's nothing wrong with a little wig. Just know what I mean. Then you have Monique. She has a new line when it comes to like oils, like natural essential oils, which she's talked about that a long period of time. She also has Not Flavors Mom podcast. Great things, right? Those are the 2 things. Those are her. She has a lot of stuff for her. She's a very business person. Busy body. Then you have Candace with her stitching lines. And like she was a coach person. She's gotta really become to herself. Ashley's a married woman that's very successful. But she was gonna try her best to be a restaurateur. But that business failed. Then you have Robbie with her hats. Embezzled? Oh, embellished. Embellished, yes. I guess you embellished. Cute hats. I love those hats. Beautiful hats. And then Wendy sells herself as a correspondent. So she's what I am. Just with those degrees, the 4 degrees. The 4 degrees. That's what Wendy is, basically. So, and then you have failed businesses like Giselle with her makeup line. Didn't talk about that all season, did she? So, that's what happened. Now, the course of this thing, they were talking about planning this thing out. Robin gets proposed to in this episode. She gets proposed to, and then the dynamic tension game. I will say this, that was the most exciting thing in the world that happened. But I will say also that Karen is trying her best to repair her relationship that was severed with... Well, because she's not going to, like, choose one friend or the other. She knows Monique. She loves Candace. She's going to try her best to love the balance of the 2. She's not setting Candace up. She did not set Candace up. That's what she said. And that's what they kept saying, that you left your party. That didn't happen. From that to the real juicy of it all. So, the reunion. Part 1 to 3. They have all going to be wearing yellow. I have yellow on right here. Y'all see color out. Not gonna lie, let's get on my skin. So it's amazing what happened. My favorite part of reunion is the end. The end of the first part of reunion was everything. When I say like Karen was on the go. She was like, boom, booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. I was like, ooh, booyaka now you say. And it was really great. So, this is what happened. All of them met up. You see all of them almost wearing masks. Once they arrive, they have to wear masks. While they're doing makeup and everything, everyone has to wear masks around them while they're getting makeup. So they can show you what's happening in Hollywood or what's happening in a lot of sets. So to what happens on shows. As you know, this season, like if you saw excuse my language, if you saw Real Housewives of New York, it's the same exact thing. They did it the same exact way. They showcased that they were gonna wear masks. Once they got there, they take the mask off. They have to sit there the whole time. They're all in separate chairs. So there's a lot of love seats. There's a lot of kind of action going on. Or love seats because them dresses are big. A lot of yellow. So much yellow. And I was kept saying, damn, is the sun still out on all these beautiful skins? Some of them had beautiful outfits. Some of them had just, they tried. They tried. Trying is not good enough for them, though. So, my favorite part is still Monique with the book. That book. This book. The 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 book was everything. Child, I've never seen somebody as petty as this woman. And it was everything to me. So, she exposed Jamal. Jamal who? That is Giselle's husband. Ex-husband. You know, because he's been spreading his penis all around the congregation. He's done a lot, and I love it. I will say this to everyone out in the world, like, one thing about preachers is sometimes they have changed people, and sometimes they are not reformed. And when I say not reformed, that means they are still a little bit of a hoe. So, a lot of times this is what happens. Giselle wrote this book. She wrote this book about this man. She reviewed this book on the show. She also made this series about a book because she had a ghostwriter. She's not a good reader. She needs some skills. So that's from the show. They had a whole funny thing about it. It was very true. So apparently, while she was pregnant, while she was having babies, while she was getting married, before she even got married, he had a baby on her. While she was married, he had a baby on her. He has babies now, out on her. And he had a baby recently, not with her. So that's all a thing. Also, while she was with him, allegedly, he was with another woman in Atlanta. And she saw, hey, I can step aside. And he was like, no, just for the show. Monique said all that. And she said also at the end, that's what I call my husband Big Boy. And also talking about my situation, saying that I cheated on my husband. That my child is not my child. That my child was come from a damn trainer. That my abortion was excuse my language. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. That I was called my miscarriage wasn't from my own husband. She said a lot. Giselle has been coming at Monique in them confessionals all season long, and Monique was like about that life. She can't get her. Now, one thing about the two that I do think is very funny that Monique got at Candace, but it was like, you getting at Candace for what Giselle did? Girl. Candace also was very great. Ashley became a lot of the victim blaming. It was very funny. Like, she had, tension, but she was not, normal. I don't know if she was because she's pregnant or she's been around white people only. I don't know what happened because it was like, how dare you? No, never. And I'm like, girl, no, we don't need this. Who wanted this? Who's subscribing to this? No. But it's the thing, and apparently it worked. I don't know. We talked about so much. Now, this first episode talked about colorism and also certain words. Wordplay is very funny because I will say this. The word ferocious, or when it comes to dark skinned women versus light skinned women, It's a very interesting word to choose because it's a triggering thing for colorism because it's a thing that they label dark skinned people a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, I know this because this is another person who've heard this from them from that point to also Monique having a point where she says, "Well, I've been told I'm a hood rat. I'm a hood rat. I'm a hood rat," and that's also a very effed up word, personally speaking. So I don't like that. Nope, not at all. I do not get it. I don't like it. I don't. But I will say that's the thing. So you have those two things. They talked about Giselle and her fashion choices. Karen said, I'm so glad you out. You helped me through the quarantine. Now, also, who was tagging that ass was Karen. I love Karen. Karen, when I say she was like, I'm going to get that ass. I'm gonna get it. She said, I'm gonna beat you like you stole something. She also said, why you keep talking about my age? I am like 5 years older than you. You are a whole lot 51. What you doing? I said, get her, girl. You better get her. And I did it's funny because I keep talking about her age and everything because like Geritol, and I was like, that was odd. Like, where are we going with this? Well, she took her hers off, so she's on it today, and it's like, yeah, Union better be on it too. And Giselle was not. When I say Giselle did this, that's all you saw. I was like, this is some funny shit. I was like, girl, did you not know that we were going to prepare for this reunion? And she was like, whatever happens, happens. Here for next season. I didn't get it. I asked all the women about how they felt about Giselle's fashions, and all of them said something very not nice, except Robin. She said she has interesting choices, which interesting choices mean I would wear that shit. And also, she also said it's ugly, but she didn't say those things. Candace said, "Just get a stylist, girl. You gonna look badass with that stylist. I see you, girl, with a stylist." Wendy said she has pretty girl syndrome. And I was like, look at Wendy. Not that woman no more. I'm proud of her. They did it sometimes, and they were like, when I say that the gang up was real, because Robin also was like, with the whole Candace thing, with like some of the dynamic tension Ashley and Candace still had, which really mentioned, which I say is kind of odd, because it's like, still, end of the day, I do think, personally speaking, Ashley is very jealous of Candace in a manner that I get, but also like of it too. You won. Like I wouldn't want her husband, but her husband's rich. Candace's husband is all right. He's more attractive. He's really way more attractive, but he also has babies. So does Ashley's husband, but he's richer. So you have a richer husband that also understands your curiosity kills the cat thing, and you're being who you are, right? So you're mad at Candace because her mom loves her, and because Candace comes from a nice home, and also that Candace dynamic is way different from yours. That's what it looks like, and it gets you to the point where you're like, "What are we doing?" Because actually preaching towards Candace is something that a lot of people don't understand. Candace is kind of like me as a person. Like, my parents loved me enough, and like truly, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to love from my parents. I'm used to support. If I have kids, I mean, when I do have kids with the person I choose, we will if we when we have one or two children, regardless, like say if I make it successful, he makes it successful. Our kids will be supported after 18 until they get their feet off the ground. And after that, we're still going to support them until like they need to, until they don't need to support anymore. That's normal. And I mean, a lot of people are like, she needs to grow up. You did too. You just chose smarter. You chose a husband that was like, she's into freaky stuff. She's into threesomes. All these things. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the truth. It's nothing wrong with having an open relationship. There's nothing wrong with adding a third or fourth or fifth or sixth person into your marriage. Nothing wrong with it. As long as you understand your marriage is the core. As long as you chose, you can't judge someone's marriage. Just truly. The show is about judgment. I'm here for it. So you have that happening, and That's like the core thing I see with the two of them. Monique has something with Candace where I would say like it's a very like sisterly thing where like for a while they can play off of each other, but at the same time Candace is very sensitive. She's a very much crier. I didn't say this because I forgot about it, but she cries so much this season. She crying right now, so I just feel like I feel like a tear just like the look Lord tear come down. I'm like, ooh, the crying. So that's happened. So that's the biggest dynamic, the tension I've seen. And it also talked about Wendy versus Karen. It was interesting, but also I kind of was like, I don't think Candace. I'm Candace Child. So sorry. I don't think Karen wanted Wendy off the show. I just think that they didn't click. Maybe they'll click this next season. I do feel like they'll click next season, and I also think that Wendy will be more open to to Karen. Their names are very much kind of like weirdly close to like a same cadence. So that's what I'm saying. When I say the end was the best part, so good, y'all. But end of the day, that's it for this part, and I'm going to watch the next one, and I'm going to give it to you as soon as possible. If I can get this up today, you're seeing it today. If not, it's Tuesday. So that means you'll see the next episode Wednesday. If you see this today, well, this is today. That means when you're seeing it, the next episode is going to happen on Tuesday. Yeah. All right. See you at the next one.